Hi guys, it's Cassandra. I am going to show you how to do a American flag replica Constitution cup today. This is the glitter version. I'm just going to show you the painted distressed flag version. But this is the Constitution paper here where the white stripes are supposed to be. That's what we're going to do today. First thing you want to start with is a 30-ounce stainless steel cup. I use Hog. You can go online and order from Stainless Depot. They're really nice cups and they're really well priced. This is what you're going to start with. You want to clean it first with alcohol, paper towel, washcloth, whatever. Clean it up, get your fingerprints off of it, and give it a nice light sanding because we're going to be spray painting and it sticks better if it's lightly sanded. I've done a couple where I didn't, and if you're not careful with your nails or the tape, sometimes it'll peel up really easy, so sand it, it's a little easier to do. You're also going to want spray paint. The blue I use is ink glue. This one happens to be satin. It doesn't matter, satin gloss, whatever. You're going to epoxy the cup. But again, this is satin ink glue for the blue square. And then for the red is Gloss Banner Red. And I happened to get this one at Walmart. This one I got at Lowe's. I like this brand better, but this works just fine too. Covers really well, so I mean I don't have any complaints. I just like the Rust-Oleum. And then you're also going to want to order, I've already kind of ripped this one a little bit, but this is the Constitution paper. If you can hear it, it's like this parchment replica. I mean, it's really neat. I mean, it looks old, but the kind I get comes in this little envelope from treasureguru.com. I don't care for the fact that they fold it. I used to get it somewhere else, but they've been out of stock for a while, and they actually roll it kind of like in a tube, and it's a little easier to work with because it doesn't have the creases in it, but it's fine. Just it's harder to cut when you have to cut the stars out. And you're going to load a section of it into Cricut, or if you have a star punch, I guess you could use that, but you got to get in the right size. So this is one I've cut some stars out with, and I cut more than 50 because as you can see, some of them don't cut out real well. They kind of get stuck because it's kind of weird paper. So, and then I take them all and I stick them in my jar here. So we're going to start with your cup. You want to take your painter's tape and you're going to mark the halfway point. You can see right here, and I take a piece of tape and I put it across and mark it. That way I can put my stripe on both sides and then one on the bottom so that I have my blue square here. This is going to be where your stars go, and then everything else is going to be red. So again, take some painter's tape, put it across the top so it marks your halfway point. It can be a little off. You actually want a little bit more blue than the red because you have 50 stars you got to stick on this sucker. So I want to say it's about 5.5 inches from here to here, 6 about, maybe 6 just to be safe. I think the diameter is 12 possibly, maybe 11. But so halfway point, tape it. You're gonna tape down that side, and then a straight line right underneath the hump here is where this one's gonna start. So this, again, this whole section here is gonna be blue and everything else is gonna be red. I don't base coat white. I don't have a problem with not doing that, so I wouldn't waste your time doing it. I haven't had an issue so far. And again, you're gonna spray paint it. I do the blue first, let that dry completely, and then you're gonna retape inside the squares here. And make sure you get the corners really well, and then you're going to spray everything else blue. I actually tape the blue again, and then I actually take like a saran wrap and put it over here with some more tape so that none of this gets painted, turned upside down. Oops, and some more stuff fell out. And then spray it. And when you're done, you're going to have all red and then your blue square. And then the fun can start. You want to rip your stripes out of your paper. I do it by hand. I used to cut it with scissors, but I like the look of the ridges and things like that, kind of like old paper. You're going to need 6 strips of the Constitution stripes, and then you're going to have 7 red stripes, which you don't have to paint because you've already base coated the cup. So here is an example of all the ones that I've ripped. They've got the We the People and then some stripes. I've actually got extra because I like to kind of have an option of which one I want to use on my cup. And for instance here, as you can see, you see how I've done these. They're not straight. I like them kind of wavy and fun. So have fun with it. Don't worry if it's not perfect. I'm going to distress this cup, so that's what I'm going for. If you want straight, then you can use like a paper slicer. It cuts really well like that, or scissors. I actually used to do it with scissors, and this is an example of one that I used to do with scissors, which looks really cool too, but this is a lot faster. But you can see, you know, how I've cut it with scissors, and it's a little smoother, and I've put like little ridges and indents and stuff on it. But you can't go wrong. This is your cup. Do what you want. So I've cut that, and I got all my stars in here, and we're gonna start putting your stars on. I use Mod Podge. I've just got some in the lid, and I just use my finger. I've learned that works a little bit better. That way you don't get big globs on it. And it's extremely important that when you start to Mod Podge on here, you don't want to do this. Don't leave big clumps like that, because if you do and you let it dry, you're gonna, even if it's clear, once you put the epoxy on, you're gonna see it. It's gonna look foggy and cloudy. So don't do that. You're gonna wanna just take it and just kind of spread it on there nice and light. And then you just take your star and make sure the writing is the correct way, and slap them on there. And I start, and I've already started this one, but you're going to start in the 4 corners. And so I've got it on there, but then I take it and I put a nice layer over it. And this one actually is missing the bottom little points. I don't like that one. So usually I sort these out, but apparently I did not. That has cat hair. You don't want cat hair. So let me try it again. Alright, so we start in the 4 corners. And let me get this one on here again. And this is the time consuming part. These stripes are a lot easier to do. Alright, so you want to start in the 4 corners. You're going to put your star up here, and then here, and here. Then you're going to take painter's tape and stick it on the top rim here, so that this part here is the sticky part. And then I take my stars and I put them up here, so that I got spacing. And so you want to have the 5 rows here. Here, let me use a different figure. You need 6 rows of 5 and 5 rows of 4. So the stars that go in between, you're actually going to have 4. Okay, I'm sorry, my son was hollering at me. So that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to do all of that because it takes forever. Maybe one day I'll sit down and do a better, more professional tutorial. I don't really do these, so bear with me. But you're going to stick them on there. So again, you're going to have 6 rows of 5. So you're going to have 1 at the end of each side, and then in between that, you're going to have 4 more. So 6 total. And then of the 4 down, which are the in-between ones, you're going to have 5. So again, I would suggest starting at the ends and then taping it up. That way, I've got it all marked now. So I know this is going to be a 4 row, this is going to be 5 row, this is going to be 4 row, this is going to be 5 row, this is going to be 4 row, this is going to be 5 row. That way you don't like start it here and start putting your stars on and realize, oh, I need 15 more stars and I don't have any more room. So do that. That helps out a lot. Okay, next, you are going to want to get, it doesn't matter, this is just some white paint that I have. You just want some cheap white paint. I'm going to slop it down here because, again, this stuff it's really thin. Again, it's replica, so it's kind of like, what they used back in the day to write with feathered pen. So we're going to paint the back of this white. So you literally are just going to take this, flip it over, and just lightly coat the back. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't do it thick. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to roll on you. Once they get wet, they roll a little. And if you get a little white on the other side, no big deal. You're going to be distressing it anyway. So see how it's like rolling up? So lightly coat it. Kind of just unroll it again. You're going to get paint all over you. And then I kind of fold it like that so that it can dry. And also you can see that I actually got some white paint on the other side. That's fine. It will come once you Mod Podge the back onto the cup. You can just take rubbing alcohol and it wipes right off. It's just the cheap, this one's Anita's acrylic. It's the cheap stuff that Hobby Lobby, I think probably Joann's has it too. Super inexpensive. In fact, it's Anita's all-purpose acrylic. This is the same kind, just smaller bottle, and blue, obviously, not white. So, again, you're going to take the next one. This is going to be my first, I want a paintbrush, not a little weeder there. And you're just going to coat it. I don't know if you can see. I'm just lightly coating. Don't cake it on here. And if you miss some spots, that's fine. And I kind of try to fold it up at the end there so it doesn't do that. But as you can see, it just wants to do it because once it's wet, it just rolls. And again, that's okay. Lightly, don't coat it on here real thick. All right, so you're gonna do this with all the stripes. So, and again, see that one? I got some white paint right there. That's fine. It comes right off once I Mod Podge the back. So I'm gonna try to take it and just kind of fold it. Let it get off. Let it dry over here. And again, I'm doing this because if you take it and put it on the cup, it looks fine. I've done a couple like that, but I've learned that if you put the white behind it, it pops really well. Okay, so do it. Looks awesome. It's a mess down here. I got stuff everywhere. All right, so we're gonna have to wait a minute because I got to paint these, so I'll be back. Okay, so you're going to take your first straw. Where'd he go? I know I had him. Just, there it is. It's right in my face. And you're going to take the end and you want to just get I cut it so it's straight because this is going to be up against the blue here. So you need it to line up. You need it to be straight. Okay, so what we're going to do is we just take Mod Podge and I actually stick it on the cup. And you're going to have a red stripe on the top and then your Constitution paper. So leave a little bit of a red without Mod Podge. So there's that. And you're just going to take this and stick it on there like so. Just line it up. All right, so there is the beginning of it. See, get it right there. And then you're just going to continue with your line of Mod Podge. This part you can kind of cake it on because it's going to be underneath, so it's fine. And so then you're just going to continue to slap that on there like a so. And you want to get this as flat and crinkle free as possible because the less crinkles you have, the less epoxy you have to use, but you're not going to be able to get all of them out. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to have some crinkles and that's fine. It looks really cool. So, and then you're going to cut the end. Again. So there is your first stripe, like that. And you're actually going to Mod Podge the top too. But I go ahead and do all the stripes, and then I go back and I Mod Podge over the paper as well. And again, layer it really lightly with Mod Podge. You don't want clumps because you can see it through the epoxy, so don't do that. I'm not going to show you me doing all of that, so give me a minute.